going on, everybody? Joseph Hadid here for Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your news, your local community.
Good morning, sports family. Thank you for tuning in to Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your sports, your news, your local community. It is Friday, March 28th, 2025. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody had a great work week, is ready for this upcoming weekend, TGIF indeed. And ladies and gentlemen, we close out the month of March. Get ready for the month of April. And look what's going on right now. March Madness. Major League Baseball season just started. And NBA playoffs is around the corner. The UFL season has just begun. Right now sports is active. It's heating up after the NFL season. Now getting ready for the draft, pretty much for the month of April. But yeah, man. I mean, since the Eagles won the Super Bowl, a lot of people said, "What are we gonna do now that the NFL season's over?" Well, there's plenty of active sports going on with basketball, with baseball now underway, with UFL football, and March Madness coming close to an end. You name it, folks. Everything is there for you to enjoy what sports has to offer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to it. Before we close out this work week and get ready for this upcoming weekend. What a long week it's been. I feel like it's been a long week. It really has. With that being said, folks, what Worldwide Sport Updates is all about, by the way, excuse me. I was coughing there for a minute. We cover NBA, we cover NHL, we cover MLB, we cover MLS, we cover WNBA, we cover college and men's college basketball, NCAA men's and women's college basketball, that is. We cover everything, folks. We have everything here for you. All right. With that being said, let's get right to it. Let's start off with some NBA news, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Giddey saves the day. Wow, what a game that was yesterday, folks. What a game between the Los Angeles Lakers and Chicago Bulls. Let's get right to it. For the second straight night, the Lakers were involved in a buzzer-beating finish. On Wednesday, LeBron James hit a game-winning tip in at the buzzer as the Lakers stunned the Pacers. One night later, the Bulls did the same thing. Rallied back with the ultimate stunner, a half-court heave with no time remaining by Josh Giddey. I mean, even though they did the same thing, but the outcome was a little bit different. Excuse me. Again, ladies and gentlemen, with no timeouts, Giddey inbounded the ball from the baseline to Patrick Williams, who gave it right back to Giddey, who took one dribble and pulled up from beyond half court. The buzzer sounded with the ball in flight as it swooshed through the net. The sound of the buzzer was overcome by the eruption from the crowd, while leaving the Lakers in a stunned silence. Final score: Bulls 119, Lakers 117. Giddey posted his fifth triple-double as the Bulls, 25 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists as a Chicago Bull, while Kobe White and Kevin Herter combined to add 47 points and 10 threes to lead the Bulls to their fourth straight win and ninth in their last 11 games. Recap, must-see finish. All right, a tale of two halves. Chicago never trailed in the first half until a Gabe Vincent three with 1 second left put the Lakers up by one at the break. The Lakers never trailed for the entire second half until the game's wild final sequence. Chicago's 6 points and ladies and gentlemen, Chicago's 6 points and 6 seconds down 5 with 12.6 seconds left, the Bulls cut LA's lead to 2 on a Patrick Williams corner 3 with 10.3 left. Giddey then stole the Lakers' inbound pass and found White open beyond the arc for a go-ahead 3 with 6.1 to play. 2 lead changes in 6 seconds, folks. The Lakers found Revis, awesome Revis that is, who finished with a game-high 30 points for the driving layup to give the Lakers the lead with 3.3 to go before Giddey did the rest. That was the play-by-play on what transpired between the Chicago Bulls and the Los Angeles Lakers. What a game, folks. What a game. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go back and see the highlights. I mean, recap that game. That game was truly phenomenal and insane to get you up off your seats with this amazing basketball game yesterday. What transpired, of course, that is. All right, let's shift over to some NHL hockey news. Could the Cancun's pass the Oilers before the end of the 2024-2025 regular season? The 2024-2025 regular season is coming to a close, with the majority of the NHL teams having 10 or fewer games remaining. That includes the Vancouver Cancun's, who sit just below the playoff bar with 80 points through 72 games. Ultimately, the last few weeks of the season will be chaotic as teams in both the Western and Eastern Conference battle for 2025 Stanley Cup playoff berths. When it comes to the Cancun's, they are in a complicated situation. As mentioned, Vancouver is currently on the outside of the playoff picture and is competing with the Minnesota Wild, St. Louis Blues, Calgary Flames, and Utah Hockey Club for the 2 wild card spots. While most of the focus has been on the wild card chase, there is another way the Cancun's could get into the playoffs, and that is by finishing as the 3rd team in the Pacific Division. Before diving into this possibility, it is important to note that Vancouver finishing as the 3rd place team in the Pacific Division is highly unlikely. That being said, the team that is currently holding the spot is 1-1 in their last 4 games and is facing some serious injury issues heading into the final weeks of the regular season. The team in question is the Edmonton Oilers, who, with 10 games remaining, have 87 points on the season. All right, let's shift over to some NFL news. Seahawks signed Darnold and Cup in Revette. The Seattle Seahawks had a positive first year under head coach Mike McDonald and British defensive coordinator Endon Durde. As they narrowly missed out of the playoffs, now the Seahawks front office has made some bold moves in a bid to truly move on from Pete Carroll 14-year tenure and make this McDonald's team. DK Metcalf requested a trade, and Seattle sent the 27-year-old to the Pittsburgh Steelers on a deal worth $150 million, making him the NFL's 4th highest paid wide receiver. Days later, quarterback Geno Smith, 34 years of age, was traded to the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Seattle Seahawks replaced him with Sam Darnold, 27 years of age, on a 3-year, $100.5 million deal. Darnold has just enjoyed the best season of his career with the Minnesota Vikings, and will link up with 31-year-old receiver Cooper Kupp, who was released by the Los Angeles Rams 3 years after being the Super Bowl MVP with the Los Angeles Rams again, that is. All right. So yeah, he was released by the Los Angeles Rams after 3 years being Super Bowl MVP, with the Los Angeles Rams. So yeah, now he gets to play with a new team, and that's the Seattle Seahawks. Should be interesting. And he gets to meet the Rams twice, this upcoming season. Should be interesting. All right, let's shift over to some Major League Baseball news. Who's playing where after Haleo's recent moves? All right, Chicago, the Angels roster to start this season suddenly looks much different than it did just weeks ago. It started on Sunday when lefty Jose Sorias, who was projected to be the club's long reliever, was traded to the Braves for fellow long reliever Ian Anderson. It then continued on Monday with right-hander Jack Kuchowicz winning the fifth starter competition over Reed Detmers, who is heading to the bullpen. And then things really took a twist on Tuesday when center fielder Mickey Monick was surprisingly released just 2 days before opening day. It meant Kyron Paris played his way onto the team as a backup center fielder with a strong spring spurred by changing his swing mechanics to look more like Aaron Judge's swing. Los Angeles also designated for assignment lefty relievers Angel Perdomo and Jose Culejeda, and both had been projected to be part of the bullpen. But Perdomo struggled in his two spring outings with the club after being acquired in a trade with Atlanta on March 17th. And Culejada's velocity was way down this spring. It led to number 7 prospect Brian Johnson making the roster despite never pitching in the minors after being drafted just last year. While Rule 5 draft pick Garrett McDaniels also made the club as a result. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for this week. I will see you on next Friday's Recorded Podcast. Till then, hit the like button, subscribe, share it out, let everybody know what Worldwide Sport Updates is all about. Your podcast, your sports, your news, your local community. Take care of each other, sports family. Have yourself a great weekend. We will interact next Friday. Bye-bye for now.